There was just no point in carrying on. That's the first time I've ever had to quit midway around a test. I'm so upset. Hi guys, it's Alana and welcome back to my channel for another video. Now today we're off to Manor Grange because I just need to finish off Ella's medium qualification. So we've got to do one more medium today and a medium music, so hopefully we get the qualifying scores. But Mum's just been to Equicheck and picked up aloe for the day, and they've given us a red one, which is super cool because it's going to be matchy with my red outfit today, and you know how much I like a bit of matchy. So super excited for today. And let me just start off with how nice is this living. So that turns into a bunk bed. Even Loki approves. You can't get in. No, sorry mate. We got a fridge there. We've got the sink and everything there. We've got cupboards and stuff up there. It looks a bit swish. So if they wanted to give me this one, I wouldn't mind. So the first thing on the agenda was to get Ella all loaded up onto the Equitrek Equinox. Now, she loaded like a little dream, bless her. She didn't expect to be going out today, but she got straight on without blinking, literally one eye, and she seemed perfectly comfortable in the box. I absolutely love it, I'm not even gonna lie. And then Mum just helped me by shutting the partition for me while I got Ella secure, and then we were ready to rock and roll. So once Ella was all in and tucked up safely, I shut up the ramp, which was actually so easy to do on your own, which is great if you're travelling alone, before we hit the road. Now Loki was being a top lorry dog the entire way there, and we were off to Manor Grange for the day. So after pulling in style, I popped on Ella's massage pad so she could chill with that and eat while I got ready. Right then guys, so we're here at Manor Grange. Ella has just been having a massage pad on whilst I've been getting ready. So I'm just about to get tacked up now. I've got half an hour before we're in the ring, so I kind of need to get a shift on. So now that Ella was all tacked up in quite the timely fashion, it was time to head over to the warm-up and start getting ready before we rode my first test, medium 75. So first of all, just walked around on a long rein. You can see she's just looking around, taking everything in before I popped her into canter. Now I like to warm up first in canter on Ella because she just seems to prefer it. Each horse is different. Before doing a bit of counter and suppling exercises, because I like to make sure the body is completely supple all the way through, and doing lots of counter is great for helping their balance and also for just opening up. So you can see I'm also doing leg yields in canter then, and just leg yielding across the school so that she'll be in counter once again on the other rein. Then once she's done a bit of counter work, I'll pop her into trot and do some nice long trot work. Once again doing lateral and suppling exercise. You see I'm just doing a 10 metre, well more like a 5 metre loop there, before also doing a bit of leg yield. Now I'm not holding her in a frame, this is just, you know, to get her moving before we get started properly. And now that I've done that, it's time to slightly up the ante and start asking her to do some transitions within the trot. You can see I did bring her back there. And I'm doing some sitting trot now, just getting her revved up to go into the test. Now I'm going to give you the complete test breakdown as I go through it. So for my entry and my halt immobility salute, and then to proceed in working trot, we got a 6.5 because her quarters were left on the centre line and there was some suppling issues coming out of it, which, you know, is something that I do. I know I need to work on a straighter lift off, so I was quite fine with that. So the next movement was the shoulder in right from M to B. Now we got a 6 for this because she needed a bit more suppleness right in the shoulder in, and I get that. I think I just made her a little bit too tense in the warm-up. And then we go straight into the right circle at 10 meters diameter, which we got a 6 for that because I'm a rubbish rider and I made the circle too large. Before we go straight into the traverse from the circle, which we also scored a 6 in because the judge overall just wanted to be more suppleness and more bend right from me and Ella. Then we turned down the centre line and half pass right to the track, which we scored a 7 for, which I'm very pleased with. Before coming back to normal trot and then proceeding in a medium trot to the last marker, which we also scored a 7 for, which I am very, very pleased with. The next movement was then a shoulder in left from H to E, which we scored a 6 for. Now this was because between S and E I started losing the angle a bit in the shoulder in, which was a shame. But then we moved into the circle 10 meters left diameter, which we scored a 7 for, which is a little bit better. Then going straight into the traverse, we scored a 6.5 for this because it was late to establish. Now that was my fault because I like to get her a little bit straight before I put the traverse, just in case I accidentally let her quarters swing in on that circle. So swings and roundabouts. So next was a half pass left, which we scored a 6 for because Ella could have been more supple once again. So that seems to be a theme in this test, before then scoring a 7 for our medium trot, which I am very pleased with. Then at C, it was time for our halt and rein back, which is something that either goes well or doesn't go well. So we scored a 6.5 for our halt and rein back because the steps were not always in diagonal pairs, which is something you have to watch out for when you're doing a rein back. So next up was our extended walk, and that goes from M to R, then across the diagonal across X, then to V. And we actually scored a 7 for our extended walk, which I was very, very pleased with, especially as the walk in this particular test is double marked. So I was really concentrating on making sure I was getting that swing and getting those purposeful strides as we were going across there. Now the next bit in the test always makes me a bit nervous, so we've got the collected walk to the first pirouette left. Now we did score a 6 for this because the pirouette was a bit large, but to be fair, I was quite happy with the fact that she kept the rhythm mostly. And then you go back across in collected walk before the half pirouette right, which we scored a 6.5 for because whilst it was smaller, we did lose a bit of suppleness towards the end. So you know that I'm going to be talking to a coach about doing more suppleness exercises after this. Then for our canter transition, we did score a 7, which I'm very, very pleased with. And then you got to pretty much go straight away into medium canter, which we again scored a 7 for, which I am also happy with because we've been working on showing that very clear difference. So to score a 7 for that is cracking. Then you've got to turn down the centre line and half pass left. Now we did score a 6 for this because I wasn't concentrating on her body and I did let her quarters trail, which was a shame. Then next up, you've got to do a half circle right 20 meters diameter in counter canter, and we scored a 6 for this as Ella was a little on the right shoulder going round, which was a shame because we do work hard on that counter canter. Then for our simple change, we scored a 7, which is good because her downwards transitions are getting better and better. And then we've got to turn down the centre line and half pass right. Now I was very pleased to score a 7 for this as I managed to position her much better, but Ella just felt so good all the way through this, so it was really nice. Then we're back into the counter canter half circle again, and we scored a 7 for this, which is cracking because, you know, I'd hope I'd doing alright in counter canter, seeing as it's in every warm-up I do. Then we've got the simple change again, and we scored a 6 for this because the walk was brief, which is fair enough because Ella was like, I'm ready to canter, and I was like, okay, just take it. Now, next movement was the change rein in extended canter, which is always a bit of a risky one because whilst they go for it across the diagonal, you've also got to bring them back. So we scored a 6.5 for this as I could have opened Ella's frame a little bit more, but she was nice and balanced on the way back, so that's where we scraped the marks back up. Then we've got to go into collected trot, and then you've got to change the rein in extended trot. Now I was gutted about this movement because you can see at the start here it looks like it's going to be amazing. And then we break into canter, so we did score a 4 for that, and the judge has actually put lost straightness and broke, and she said it was a pity, and honestly, hon, I feel that too. So watching the test back, and actually, you know, as we go into this final movement, you'll be able to see it more, there are plenty of opportunities where I have thrown the marks away on silly things, so that's where riders can really make up the marks by being super accurate. So for example, on this turn onto the centre line, we scored a 6.5 because I hadn't quite put Ella on the centre line, which is a shame. But going into our halt, we did score a 7 because she's such a good girl. She managed to scrape it back for me. Right then, so I've just run in through medium 75 on Ella. It felt really, really nice. A little bit underpowered. It was like we did the canter entry and then the trot from there was just, there wasn't anything in the tank. So we're going to go in for the music and I'm going to try and fire her up a little bit. It felt really nice and sweet. It was just gutting about that last extended trot. She just threw dollies out the pram. We ended up cantering, so it was a shame because that's my favourite bit on her, but oh well. Hopefully we'll get enough to qualify, so that's all we need. So next up was our medium music, and now what they had us do was walk around whilst the other rider was doing their test before we would go into our test, because obviously they can't play two musics at the same time. Now you can see me smiling here, but little did I know this was seconds before disaster. And to give you a little taster, you could see that I was just struggling to get Ella into the trot there, and if that didn't set the tone for the rest of the test, I don't know what will. Alana doesn't know what's coming to her at the end of this test. Right then, so I've just had to pull her out of the medium music halfway around it. I just couldn't get her to keep trotting. She just kept cantering and we missed out on all of the medium movements that need to be in it. There was just no point in carrying on. That's the first time I've ever had to quit midway around a test. I'm so upset. Right then guys, so I've got over myself a little bit now. Yeah, so basically just one of those days after the high of last week where we got 77%, you know, won 5 out of 8 classes. This week we thought we were coming out to qualify in 2 classes and qualified in neither. So I did just miss out, just missed out on a qualifying score in medium 75, and we didn't even fully get around the medium music. So all we're going to do is just come out again. So we've got mediums going on at Oldham Mill. We're going to keep coming back, and we will get qualified at some point. There's no rush for it. And it was just one of those days, you know, stuff happens. You know, everybody has those days. It's not always first place Rosette. Sometimes you have a day that is so character building, you end up with your mascara down to your chin. So I'm going to get Ella home now, get her all comfortable. I'll get my coach out to fix my head and then we will try again. And at least the day wasn't a complete write-off, so I still got to go out and have a nice time with my girl Ella, and Equicheck was lovely enough to let me use the Equinox, which of course matched my outfit, which is absolutely the main thing here. I mean, we don't think about the dressage around here, but I did embody, as is my want, the idea of all the gear and no idea, and I just think that's so funny. Right then guys, so that is all from me today. I've completely stopped crying, which is a bonus. And yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. It was literally just one of those days, you know, like I was on top of the world last week and today was a crash back to reality. I'm really pleased with it regardless, because in the warm-up we got some nice work. I just wound her up way too much, resulting in her being wound up in the medium music. And then she's a little underpowered in the medium itself, which I already knew. So I'll get qualified up. It's not a problem. We're just going to come back better. That's all we can do. Yeah, and regardless, I am absolutely pleased with her. She felt really nice up until that point. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know I could have enjoyed making this video more for you. But if you haven't already, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is going to be uploaded. And until next time guys, from me, Ella, and Loki, it is goodbye.